Sports Show. As always, Southern Footy League, the Press. Craig Warman joining us. Craig, how are you?
Yeah, good boys. How are you today?
Very good, mate. Now, some exciting news in the women's. We talk about the men a lot, mate. Let's get over to the women. So, Hackham had their first win in 4 years over Aldinga, which are playing some pretty good footy this year in the women's. Exciting.
Oh, it was, and I was fortunate enough to be out there umpiring that particular game, and it was good to see for the Hackham girls to finally break the ice after 4 years, and you can imagine the celebrations.
Well, I bet there was a bit. I was going to say, I bet there was a bit of ice on the rink. So afterwards, 4 years.
Yeah.
Was it 4 years?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's great. When a side wins their first game, you wish you were there a little bit, just to see the
break the drought,
the celebration.
I'd like to see the celebration. I'm more interested in the song after the game because you haven't sung it for 4 years. Yeah. I want to know how many players can remember that.
Well, that was a good point. Although there was some pretty vocal people in the change rooms after the game,
so it was pretty good. No, well done.
And then of course you got to see the girls slipping the umpire a little whatever.
Well, I didn't get any feedback on the umpiring. I didn't get anything on that, but
I heard it was good.
I wonder if you're the Prez whether you think it's time for them to get a win and you make up the dodgy calls just to help. No, anyway, we digress. We digress.
Sorry, Prez.
No, full credit to Hackham. Well done by them.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, big weekend too. We'll come to the Southern Footy League in a moment, of course, but you've got the KI trip on Sunday, so we're about 7 years into that now.
Yeah, we are, and it's been a really good thing for the Southern Footy League. As you know, we play a game against Great Southern each year, but in that we play 15, 17 boys and then seniors. There's a big gap between coming out of under 17 halves and seniors. This fills the void, I believe, and it's been fantastic, where the lads who are a bit slow in developing and whatever, that aren't quite good enough to go from 17 halves straight to seniors, it gives these kids the opportunity to continue to play association footy for 3 or 4 years.
I think it's a great idea. That is a really good idea.
And it gives Kangaroo Island, who used to have to travel all the way to Eyre Peninsula to play in the Mortlock Shield, it gives them an opportunity to have association footy on the island as well.
So I know this one. I had a quick look at the stats. In the 7 years it's been going, there's been 1 goal difference either way on the win or the loss. So it's a great competition. But the tricky part, mate, is they take the ferry Sunday morning, get over to KI, get off the ferry, walk up the hill to the Oval, play the game, back on the ferry. So that in itself is pretty tough, and you hope that it's a smooth crossing because if it's a bit rough then there's an advantage for the home team here. But the second part is that a lot of the kids that are playing, the under-21 kids, have played on the Saturday with their respective clubs. So it's a big ask to get on it and go.
Yeah, and the under-15 boys as well. So they back up the day after. So again, I just think we've got the mix right with the different standards and whatever. Because they'll play an open side, Kangaroo Island. And as I say, it's just been a really good concept for the last 7 years.
And they've got no problems playing 2 games in 2 days. Kids at that age, I'll tell you now, I used to do it myself, used to play for the church on Sunday after playing an amateur game. And so you sort of...
you love playing.
Well, you love playing and you're fit enough to do it, so unless you get a bad...
And it's a trip overseas, for God's sake.
No
expenses spared.
I've done that trip. If it's smooth sailing, it's brilliant, mate.
It's a great idea, mate. It's a great idea.
Hey, mate, just a couple of quick games on the weekend, then we need to get this weekend's games. The Aldinga Morphett Vale game, absolute beauty.
Oh, it was. And for the second year in a row, Aldinga have beaten Morphett Vale. Last year was down at Aldinga, at Shark Park. This year, credit where credit's due, to beat Morphett Vale at Morphett Vale, it's a really big effort. So Stoney's doing a really good job down there, and of course there's a couple of ex-Morphett Vale players who've gone to Aldinga this year that had a bit of a rev up for the boys as well.
A 4-pointer, a 4-point game. So
great game.
Now, my co-host, he said he was at the game Cove v Ranella, and he wasn't happy. He wasn't. Now, Ranella got away and got a good win, and Cove probably took it to him for a while.
Took it to him for...
a bit frustrated, were you, mate?
Well, I was extremely frustrated, and I really wanted to go into the rooms and all that afterwards, but I only spent the first half there, and I think that was enough for me because I thought Cove were really undisciplined on the weekend. Not like I've seen them before, and I don't know whether Ray, the coach, I know he'd said something about free kicks at quarter time. The free kicks were there, by the way. There's no excuses here, but it was just... There was one stage there where they paid 5 free kicks from the back pocket, Ranella's back pocket, right through to their forward 20 metres out, all high tackles. Bang, 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 goal. Now, all those frees were there. Yeah. Now, that's disappointing. And then, but it continued that way. Cove were in the game, played well in the first quarter. 4 goals each. But those 4 goals for Ranella, I'd say 3 of them were free kicks within 20 metres of goal through really, really sad, undisciplined acts. And then that continued on in the second quarter. I was a bit disappointed. I was a bit disappointed.
Which is a bit disappointing to hear, but you say that it surprises me because I've seen Cove a couple of times this year and they've played really good footy.
So have I, mate. Yeah. So have I. That's what surprised me. But, you know,
one of those days, Baz. One of those days.
Well, is it one of those days, mate?
I don't know. We'll have to ask the coach.
Somebody needs a kick
Yep.
for that because the rest of the guys were battling their butts off, and then a couple of blokes give away really sad, really bad, undisciplined free kicks within shots of goal. Now, Ranella went away and won the game pretty easy, 40-odd points in the end. But, hey, had that quarter in the first quarter and a half gone without that discipline problem, Cove would have been right in the game. Because there's that Cove, everything going for him. You know, very sad.
We'll give Ray a call and see what happened there, mate. But I just think Ranella were too good. That's just an unbiased view, of course.
Totally unbiased.
That's his team.
Oh, hang on a minute, that's my team. I remember now. Of course, in the other games, mate, we know that Noarlunga too good for Happy Valley, and of course Christie's Beach.
That Noarlunga game was closer than a lot of people thought. Noarlunga going along nicely. We broadcast the Christie's Beach Port Noarlunga game. And again, that was a terrific game up until about 10 minutes into the last quarter, and Porty should kick 4 quick goals, and that was the game over.
All right, let's quickly get to this week, mate, because the first couple of absolute beauties. Flagstaff Hill up against Port Noarlunga. Have flaggies?
This will be a beauty. Yep. I was speaking to Jars after the Christie's game last week, and he's looking forward to the challenge. As we know, flaggies have been there or thereabouts for the best part of 6 or 7 seasons now. Started off really well this year, but they're always hard to beat at home. They're a bit like Port Adelaide at Alberton, very hard to beat there. But if Porty's going to snag one, they'd be up and about.
Yeah, I know Sam Jacobs is not playing because Jar said he's handcuffed him to the bench as Triple M, so he won't be able to get out of the studios there, so he won't be there. Morphett Vale up against Cove?
Well, this is the chance for Cove to actually rebound from what Baz was talking about. And to get Morphett Vale at this particular time where they're struggling with form and injuries, Cove could win this one.
Good one, that one.
This will be a big one.
Yeah,
Ranella Noarlunga.
Yeah, this is the game.
Yeah, and this is the
second, third,
the broadcast game for Tribe FM. So we'll be at the Ranella Oval. But again, Ranella a bit poor, as I say. Ranella at home, a bit like Noarlunga at home. If this was played at Noarlunga, you'd probably tip the Shoes to win it. But because it's at Ranella, their home ground, you'd have to tip the White Flies.
Well, I'd tip Ranella wherever they're playing, but again, that's unbiased by me. Christie's Beach and Aldinga.
Well, again, we saw Christie's last week, played some pretty good football for 3 and a bit quarters. And Aldinga, well, they're up and about, aren't they?
Yep.
So, and they're not without a chance of winning. Speaking to a couple of people that were there watching the game, they were very impressed with the way Aldinga set up defensively. Need to work a little bit on their offence, but defensively, to score against them
was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, hey, mate. Appreciate you coming in. You can't get in next week, Grandad duty, so he won't be here. So we're not using the KI trip as an excuse for him. He's actually got some serious commitments.
Okay, mate.
Always appreciate your time, mate. Southern Footy League. Get out and support your team this weekend. Of course, Sunday will be an absolute ripper over on KI. Stay with us. Still plenty to come.